What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Party on Broad. Today's show, we are doing yet another Eagles mock draft simulation. The theme of this mock, though, is the trade back, and we're going to get into why in just a second. Joining me, my man Ryan Reese of Philly Sports Alliance. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Love doing these. Love draft talk. So yeah, this is it's my bread and butter. I love it.
We got Jonathan Himes in the house saying, let's get it, man. So thanks for joining, Jonathan. Let us know if you're watching us live. Comment, grade our selections, all that fun stuff. So we are doing the trade back, and this is arguably my favorite scenario for the Eagles right now. Eagles beat the Saints on Sunday. That pick looks nice and juicy for a team to trade up and take one of the top quarterbacks. I'm talking C.J. Stroud, Will Levis. Bryce is probably going to be gone by then. But if we can trade back, get some value, and try to restock some of the young talent at some of the positions, because there's a lot of free agents coming. I'm looking at Javon Hargrave. I'm looking at Bradbury. Ryan, are you a fan of the trade back?
Yeah, I absolutely am, because I feel like Howie seems to always do a decent job of taking advantage of someone who's a little desperate for a specific position. I think this year that might be quarterback, depending on how the first 9 or 10 picks go. So yeah, I could easily see Howie kind of trading back, getting some extra assets, and just restocking on all the positions that we need to get a little younger and a little more deep.
Especially with that upcoming contract extension for Jalen Hurts. It is happening. It is going to go down, and finding cheap talent on good deals is what it's all about. That's what this is all about. Jonathan says, I'm here for the trade back. Hopefully a quarterback falls and we can really capitalize. I do have one specific quarterback. We're not going into day 3, though. And that's probably really the only time I would explore those options. But there are a couple of day 3 quarterbacks. Maybe that'll be a different show when we start doing some bigger mock drafts, like 7 rounds. That's not today. Let's jump right in. We are doing PFF's mock draft simulator, and I will enter the draft and start going. So, start draft. All right. So Texans are on the clock. Bryce Young, number 1 there. Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, bang, bang, bang. That's Will Levis to the Lions. Murphy is off the board. Quentin Johnson's the first wide receiver off. C.J. Stroud, 3 quarterbacks. Bang. Within the first 8 picks. So I am on the clock. You can see this, right? Yeah. All right. So I'm sitting here on the clock. Obviously, we are trying to trade back. We're looking at the Seattle Seahawks. They want to trade up. They want to give me 9. I'm going to take 34 with that. I also won 46. Let's see if I give them 14% chance. Let's see if it happens. So I'm looking to trade way back, get a few more picks. I'm also going to offer them pick 63. They have not accepted. All right. Let's take that out. 37% chance. No!
Wow. Being a little
right. We're in. So I have traded pick 9 to the Seattle Seahawks for pick 15 and pick 34 in this draft. We're going to hit resume. Might as well let this thing keep going. All right. Tyree Wilson there to the Jaguars. That hurts for sure.
Wow.
And Nolan Smith. So I am sitting on the clock. Keely Ringo goes to the Green Bay Packers right before my selection. So I'm sitting here. And I got to kind of make a decision here. I'm at pick 15. I got to figure out what to do next, because a lot of the top guys that I like on my board have been selected. I did add a lot more new picks, but I'm going to go with a guy that I think is really, really good. And I think probably pick 15 will be right on target for this dude. The guy I'm talking about is Jared Verse out of Florida State. Uber athlete. I think this guy is going to absolutely blow up the upcoming combine. But Jared Verse, man, he led the ACC in tackles for loss. Explosive athlete. The dude had just a ton of ability to win with burst bend. Really good hands. I had a round one grade on Jared Verse, so I'm going to make that my selection. It's not my ideal selection, so it's going to be interesting here, considering I mopped the floor with Ryan in our first mock.
You did.
I'm going to and I'm going to remove. So Jared Verse to me, you're up, man.
All right, let me bring mine up. Here we go. All right, so let's start this draft.
There you go. You're on the clock. Your draft is on the screen here.
Wow. Okay. Cardinals. Really Will Anderson.
Yeah. Lions and Will Levis seem to be happening a lot.
All right. So my first selection, Myles Murphy from the last mock draft, is sitting there. Quentin Johnson. Oop. All right. So it looks like the Patriots are the. I hate to go that far back, but let's see what I can get out of them. And I'll throw in fourth round. So I'm going to try and get their first, second, and second next year for my first. And fourth rounder, right? Yeah, fourth rounder. Let's see. All right.
All right, there you go.
I'll take that. A little extra draft capital for next year.
Yeah, you're going to 16.
Yeah, 16. So I'm praying to God somebody I like continues to fall.
I mean, I think this draft is pretty realistic in the sense that there's going to be such a huge run of edge rushers. That's the true strength of this draft. Yeah. I think they're going to I think we're going to see so many within the first 20 picks. There's just going to be a huge run of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. There are some absolute studs. Just looking, again, I do like Jared Verse, and I think you're probably right. His combine is probably going to shoot him up. The draft board, everything that I've kind of been seeing is probably in the latter third of the first round. Obviously there is a need at corner. There's we could always use another tight end. But you know what? I'm going to do something that may not be that popular. But I think just given what has recently transpired with Lane Johnson, why not? It may not be sexy, but we have 2 picks. We just got an extra second for next year. I'm going to go with Paris Johnson.
No,
going to go ahead and, get the Lane Johnson replacement for the eventual either next year or the year after. And listen, it's not exactly where I would have wanted to go, but I just think value-wise, I think I've certainly seen him kind of in the early teens. Mm-hmm. So to get him at 16 and to get essentially the second best tackle in the draft to replace Lane Johnson eventually, I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility.
Love it, man. All right. So, I guess I'll go. All right. I am on the clock here with pick number 31 here for the Birds. Looking quick at the board so far. Christian Gonzalez was just picked. Bijan Robinson went to the Bengals. Josh Downs, he might be the biggest reach there.
Yeah.
Going to the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think I've ever seen
him in the first
selection for Josh Downs, and I've done a lot of these.
Yeah.
And I really like Josh Downs a lot. So that's a really interesting selection for the Cowboys. So I'm sitting here, and I got to do it. Not do it. He's easily one of my favorite players in this draft in this range. If it happens, it'll be just immense value. And I'm talking about Joey Porter Jr. At pick number 31 would be just insane. A guy that's 6'2", just a natural ball hawk, big time playmaker, great at press coverage, can really, really learn a ton under Darius Slay. Kind of similar build. So Joey Porter Jr. is my selection. I will be having a pick coming up next, but I'll wait for you, man. So that is my selection, Joey Porter Jr.
All right. So keep it in line with the first one we did, getting Porter again.
I know, right?
But hey, listen, that's what happens with these mock drafts. You're going to see the same people in the same areas. So,
Yep.
All right. So I would also like to, see, I was hoping Verse would have fell. Man. I'm not going to lie. If Bijan Robinson would have fallen to me at 31, I think I would have pulled the trigger. Not going to lie. Man, I could go really boring and get a guard now. I think.
I'm in this area soon. I'm definitely going to be biting that bullet pretty soon.
Yeah, I think fans would kill Howie if he went O-line in the first round.
Howie doesn't care though. He just.
Of course he doesn't care, but yeah. And again, this is partially just to be make sure that I'm being a little different than you. Joey Porter obviously would be fantastic here and a big need. But I'm actually going to go with a BJ Ojulari at LSU. I really do like this guy. I think this is right around the value of where he should be. And again, it's another need. It's we got to replace some players on that defensive line. So shocking trenches for the first two picks.
Yep, I like it. I like it a lot. All right. So, did you make that pick?
Yeah. So, I just paused mine.
All right, here is my board here. I am making a trade. I'm at pick number 34. Looking at who's available. I'm not a big fan. And I think I can trade back just a little bit. So I'm looking at a trade back with the Colts. I'm trading pick 34 and 127 for 37 and 84. Again, trying to kind of fill some holes here. Let's see if they accept. They did.
Nice. That's a really good trade. You trade back 3 spots. You move up about almost 35, 40 spots.
Yep.
That's a no-brainer.
All right. So far, I've got Joey Porter Jr. and Jared Verse. Filled some holes at edge and corner. Looking at my big board here. Just taking a quick look at who's available. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with a guy that I think would be a natural fit for the Eagles. His name is Cody Mock. Cody Mock out of North Dakota State. Great size, great athleticism. He has extensive experience playing guard and can play tackle. So I see him kind of being that right guard for the first year or two and then filling in for Lane Johnson down the road. Cody Mock is a really interesting guy. What's really interesting about Mock is the dude came into North Dakota State and was a tight end, 220-pound tight end, and just gained like 100 pounds, and now he's just a massive offensive lineman, and he moves really well.
I love the converted tight end offensive linemen. Those again, I feel like they're just naturally athletic. It's an easier adjustment, I think. When you have that athleticism, and the adjustment is kind of getting used to playing with that extra weight.
Yep.
And that honestly doesn't take too long for a very, very good prospect. So I love the converted tight end for sure.
Yep.
All right. Let's.
Looks like you have your. It didn't resume. There you go.
All right. All right. Just hoping. Good position. Wow, Joey Porter at pick 40.
Jeez. I wonder why he's falling so much.
I should have traded up.
I don't. That's not going to be the case. Like,
no. I expect him late first, early second at the latest.
Yeah, I agree.
Ooh. So here's okay. So I know exactly where I'm going here. I'm going to go tight end, and I guess my debate now is where what do I go with? I do like both of these, Darnell Washington and Dalton Kincaid. I'm probably leaning more Kincaid. I just have seen a little bit more on Kincaid, so perhaps that's why my bias leans that way. But this is an easy selection to go. It's middle of the second round. You can add yet another offensive weapon. We came into this year questioning what was going to happen at that second tight end spot, and to be honest, we really haven't gotten a lot out of it, even with Dallas Goedert going down. Obviously, Stoll and Calcaterra did decent job filling in, but Dalton Kincaid could come in and absolutely be out there with Dallas, and just adding that two tight end set to this offense in a way that just would it would be too many. Not that there already isn't too many weapons for the Eagles. It would just add yet another one. Mm-hmm. And I just think with that offense, it would just be you just couldn't stop it. So easy selection getting Kincaid.
All right.
So there you go. Washington went right after. So
all right. So I am on the clock here. I'm looking at who's available for me. I'm sitting at pick 63. I have some interesting choices here. Gervon Dexter is a guy you took last draft, which would be tremendous value there at the back end of round 2. But for the sake of doing things differently, I'm going to go a different route. And I love Gervon Dexter quite a bit. Jonathan says, how much time do you guys spending on evaluating players? I respect the dedication. Dude, that's all I do, man. That's all I do. I watch college football and I watch the Eagles, and just that's really what it's going to come down to, is just all NFL draft these next several months. Because the Sixers don't have a pick, so it's just going to be tons and tons of NFL drafts. So, Jonathan, way too much time.
Yeah, and honestly, Jonathan, if you want to even get remotely caught up, check out the top 10 lists for positions. It's all over the Painted Lines YouTube, and just guys, you break it down in such a great way. It really is for somebody like me who does dedicate time into looking into players and trying to watch highlights and film study on certain players and positions. It's a good jumping off point for me, even. It helps me get familiar with, some guys that I know that it would take me a lot longer to get to than just, doing the way I do. So highly recommend watching the positional videos. It's fantastic.
Thanks, man. I'm going to go a different route, and I know you're going to be really happy about this selection. He's my linebacker number 4 in the class. I'm going linebacker here. You look at Kaiser White struggling. Nakobe Dean's going to take his spot. It's just a matter of time. TJ Edwards is terrific. Is he in a contract year? He might be.
Yeah, he is a free agent after this season. So
yeah, and he's killing it. He's having a great season overall. So I'm going to go and add a guy that's just an absolute monster, 6'5", just a beast. He definitely needs to prove he can thrive in coverage. But the guy I'm talking about is Jack Campbell here out of Iowa. Again, 6'5", just so much size. And I think I would be really interested to see what the Eagles can do with this guy. Just amazing at wrapping up tackles, shedding blocks, getting into passing lanes. He's 6'5", but he moves a lot better. He wasn't in coverage a lot with Iowa. So that's something he needs to show during his private workouts and things like that at the combine and everything. But Jack Campbell is going to be a dude. He's a massive dude too. So
I am a huge fan of Big Ten linebackers. So yeah, I am 1000% all in on that. All right, so I am also sitting here at the end of the second round. I'm not gonna lie, I was a fan of the guard from Kansas State that just went to Buffalo. I probably would have pulled the trigger there because I am all about continuing to have the best offensive line in football. Um, but sadly, he did not slip to me. Um, so I want to say, yeah, I probably would have potentially went Dexter if he would have fallen. Your boy Cody went to the Bengals. All right, let's see. You know what? I'm going to kind of do what you did in your mock draft or the other day.
Okay.
Jahmyr Gibbs somehow is fallen to the end of the second. I don't see that happening at all.
Never.
So in this situation, I will take advantage of PFF's miscalculation, and I will go ahead and grab Gibbs, the running back from Alabama. I think that's an easy choice if for whatever reason he ever would to fall. Don't see it happening, but I will easily jump all over that.
Yeah. Now I'm worried. Now I am worried because I think you're going to get some votes out of that. All right.
Gotta start thinking smarter in these polls, you know?
All right, we are sitting round 3, and this is me running up to the podium if I'm Howie Roseman.
I already know.
He was available for my last draft, but I already had taken, I think, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
And in the third round, the guy I'm going to be selecting for the Birds is Zach Charbonnet. Dude checks all the size boxes, 6'1", 220 pounds. He's a power rusher, power back. He's not an elite athlete. He doesn't have breakaway speed. He's not going to be hitting home runs, having huge chunks of yards. But the Eagles need size at running back. I just would be so excited to watch this dude play alongside this offensive line and Jalen Hurts. I don't understand how opposing defenses would be able to stop it. That's how hard he runs. Like, it's just a perfect fit. I remember doing my running back rankings, and I circled this guy so hard for the Eagles. And yeah, Zach Charbonnet is an automatic selection for me.
You would absolutely, absolutely break your ankles running up to the podium.
If this will happen, I'm watching the draft live. Like, that would,
that's
make sure cameras on me, because that will be just pumping fists, man.
Yeah, it's funny. Ever since, however long ago you had first mentioned it to me, I obviously started looking into him, and yeah, I absolutely am the same. I just the way he just moves and plays, I can't really describe it. I like it a lot, and it kind of reminds me, not in any way like how he runs and physicalness, but of like Dameon Pierce. Of the fact of like somebody that wasn't talked about a lot leading up to the draft, was kind of in that third round area. And then obviously Dameon Pierce, as you know, came into, a good situation in Houston where he could get on the field right away. And obviously has had pretty, success early so far in his career. So I kind of link those two together and hope, that would be a great selection for the Birds.
And you know why, he would get on the field immediately? He's a really good blocker.
Yeah.
And that's, if he can do that and he can get those goal line, short yard situations, there's going to be tons of
tough yards
for snaps on the Eagles.
Yeah, agreed. Regardless of what they do with whomever will be in the running back room.
Yeah.
All right. So looks like this is my last selection here. Trying to think of what I already have. So I got a tackle. I got an edge. I got a tight end. What else I got? Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
So, hmm, I am certainly tempted with the guard from TCU, but
He's a big dude. He's a
yeah,
big dude.
he
He's like,
is he is a big dude. But I'm also looking at Byron Young. I think he certainly. Do I have a corner? I don't have a corner, do I? I have to have a corner, right? I mean,
yeah. I don't
yeah.
know.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think he did.
I have tackle, edge.
I would double check real quick.
Is there a way to?
Yeah, just scroll up on the left. You can see your selections.
I'll just do it that way. Oh, that's right, a running back. I got tight end, running back, edge, and tackle. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Eli Ricks. He again playing at Alabama has been. Anytime that you have a corner in the SEC, they're going up against very good wide receivers, as we've clearly seen over the last few years in the NFL. Pretty much the top wide receivers are almost all SEC guys. So, this would again be kind of a similar situation with your Porter pick, somebody that can come in, learn under Slay. Again, I think we all kind of can, foresee the future of Bradbury not being here. So this would be a great value to me in the end of the third round to get somebody that could potentially come in and be opposite Slay, depending on how everything shakes out. So again, big need, easy selection to grab a corner, even though I really wanted that guard, and I was also looking at interior defensive line too. So.
Yeah, Eli Ricks is one of the biggest wild cards in this draft. I did preseason rankings of the cornerback position. He was my number one cornerback in the class, and has just really fallen off. Pretty much everyone else in that Alabama secondary has went above and beyond, because Eli Ricks just can't stay healthy. He just couldn't get on the field. He had really struggled learning the playbook. I think it came from LSU. I could be wrong there. But there it is. Great size, great measurables, ball hawk, just needs to stay on the football field. All right, so I am up here with my last selection, and I'm really happy again about this one. A guy that I really, really liked, as much as I did with Zach Charbonnet in my running back rankings, when I was doing my wide receiver rankings, it was Zay Flowers. Nice. Very, very slight. Doesn't have a great catch radius. Only 5'10", thin, but absolutely dynamic runner. He's going to be. I think he's going to be just an elite slot receiver, and he can stretch the field. Extremely fast. Amazing change of direction ability. Great acceleration. Can create separation. I think he checks off a lot of boxes for the Eagles. Zay Flowers between A.J. Brown and Devontae would be just absolutely electric. And let's be honest, Quez is I like Quez, but at this point, if you can get an upgrade here at this spot in the draft, I'm going with Zay Flowers, man. Dude is really fun. He's going to be one of the fastest players in the combine, I think. So that is
what I was going to say. You obviously did more research on this gentleman, but what is his kick/punt return ability? Is there anything there, or is it not too much?
I don't think so. Of Zay Flowers, I could be wrong. I gotta think he could offer some, because he definitely has twitch. He definitely is a player with wiggle. I would have to look into that. I don't think so.
Yeah, that would be so beneficial. Obviously, I think we can all agree that our special teams has been very inconsistent this year. And yeah, if we can get somebody, a third, fourth wide receiver that can also return, that would be a huge upgrade.
Yep. I'll go through my picks real quick. PFF was not the biggest fan. A C+.
Wow, they really don't like you.
No, they don't. We have a comment here. Sad day for the football world. Best football player in history Pele has passed away.
Yeah,
Rest in peace, man. That's super sad. Super,
is.
super sad. I'm not a soccer fan, but like major respect.
Yeah.
All right, Jared Verse, Joey Porter Jr., Cody Mock, Jack Campbell, Zach Charbonnet, Zay Flowers. I got some size, pretty much at all positions minus Zay Flowers. I'm surprised I didn't address the interior defensive line. That's a quick take. No safeties on my end. I think Verse, Porter, Mock, Campbell, Charbonnet, Zay Flowers. I don't think I have any like franchise-altering players on my list, but I think I added a lot of really good depth in a lot of important holes. I think Eagles fans will fall in love with Charbonnet and Jack Campbell. Campbell is awesome. So that is my quick 3-round mock.
All right. What do you? I know PFF gave you a C+, but what do you give yourself there?
I would give this a solid B+. I am higher on Jared Verse than PFF right now. I think 15 is right around the money for him. Said this in somewhere, but I think he's going to blow up the combine. He's extremely athletic. He was, when I did my edge rushing rankings, I compared him to like Trey Walker. I don't think he's going number one, but I do think he's going to have that similar meteoric rise in this draft. A guy that's like considered in the back first round, second round, and just fly up the big boards. The problem is there's so many great edge rushers in this class that I'll be taken ahead of him.
Yeah, there absolutely are, and he'll probably get lost in that shuffle. But yeah, honestly, looking at this, you address pretty much everything that we really need outside of, like you said, safety and interior defensive line. But there's not a lot of great safeties out there, to be honest, and I know you know that. And I think if we're going to do anything, we would address it, either with free agency, just because again, I think also just given our history of drafting safeties lately, really haven't hit too many. So yeah, I give a solid B+ as well. So
Cody Mock in F is ridiculous. I don't understand. That's no. He's one of those guys like people are going to be like Cam Jurgens last year. Why would you take Cam Jurgens that high? And then you realize it. He gets on the football field like, oh.
And you're like, oh snap.
Did you see him pull there? Like
all right, so so I obviously went a little shocking with my first pick in getting Paris Johnson Jr. I think that's right around where he'll probably end up going in the middle of the first round. And to be perfectly honest, just looking at who was available, I just felt value, and a position of potential need, which I know Howie always thinks, 1-2 years ahead. Obviously, Ojulari, a great edge rusher from LSU. I thought that was, again, decent value. I kind of have been seeing him around, mid to early 20s in some mocks. Had to go with some offensive weapons and getting that second tight end in Kincaid and getting what I feel like is, although I got a D+, my worst rating, probably the best value that I've seen in this draft for myself, having Gibbs fall all the way to the end of the second. He definitely is dynamic and could come in and just be the guy in case we're not willing to give Miles Sanders any sort of decent salary. So, and then, Ricks, again, huge need in corner. Like you said, does need to show that he can stay healthy, but I feel like the Eagles like to gamble a bit on that more than others. And they've hit recently on some of those gambles. Landon Dickerson, obviously being the latest one that obviously seemed to work out, as he is a Pro Bowler now. I feel like I hit a decent amount of wanted to hit. Obviously, like you said, interior defensive line would have been nice, but. Still, I think overall, I think Eagles fans will be happy with with these guys eventually.
I think you went for boomer bust here.
Yeah.
Major upside, guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Big time. I think I'm really interested to see how people vote for Paris Johnson. I think he's a great talent. I think getting him at 16 is spot on. I think he's a great prospect. BJ Ojulari is really intriguing. Maybe I'm just reading this wrong. A- seems a little bit of a stretch. He's one of those guys that's just, you can't ignore the inconsistencies. Like, he's one of those dudes that, like, you watch one game and, like, he's the best player on the football field. Then the next game, he's nowhere to be found. Is one of those guys. So mediocre height, like 6'2", 6'3". He's what he does, and he does really well, is getting to the quarterback. So in the right situation on like passing downs, he could absolutely be a nightmare for offenses. Love Dalton Kincaid. As much as I love the depth at running back, I love the depth at tight end for this class. And Dalton Kincaid, man, that dude had some monster moments this past season. Like, I'm talking like 200 plus yards, like so many receptions, like looking unstoppable at times for his career at Utah. Really great prospect. I'm really interested to see how much that translates. Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't need to go too in depth with Jahmyr Gibbs. He's one of my, arguably, when I make a day 2 favorite list of prospects, he's going to be super high on that. I think Gibbs has 3-down potential, especially with Sirianni. Just NFL, man, it's all about speed, getting guys in space, getting guys, in motion. And Jahmyr Gibbs can run with the best of them. He can be a receiver with the best of them. Be a true weapon in the backfield with Jalen Hurts. Short yardage situations, like the potential there is ridiculous. Eli Ricks is your biggest kind of wild card selection. I could see him being a CB1. I could see him not making the NFL. I don't know. So he's going to be one to watch during the combine, for sure.
No, absolutely. And again, if he could prove to stay healthy and kind of clean up some of the inconsistency, he has definitely at times shown that he has that ability to come in and be a starting corner in this league for sure. It's just, again, that's what the tough part about all of this is that you see somebody with that potential and you just, I almost feel like it's just right situation, right coaching, to unlock that consistency in a player. And honestly, I'm pretty behind the Eagles coaching staff to be able and who the players they have to be able to hopefully unlock that in Ricks.
Yeah, if he struggled to learn the playbook at Alabama, he's gonna need at least a year.
Potentially.
So just to kind of, but I think, like you said, like the natural talent is absolutely there. It's just a matter of unlocking that. So I give this a solid B+. I really like it. Kincaid, Gibbs, Paris Johnson, I think are all studs. Ojulari, I had him at the back end of my edge rusher rankings, but that doesn't mean anything. I still had a rounds 1 through 2 grade on him, and at 31, that's fine. So that pretty much takes care of that. So guys, we remove that. I will be throwing these mocks on all pretty much social media, so be sure to check that out and vote for your favorite Eagles mock. Don't forget to vote. And Ryan, what do you got going on over there at Philly Sports Alliance?
Nothing. We are just, we're kind of keeping it quiet as the new year approaches. We're kind of gearing up for the Eagles playoff run. And but normally we still got all of our shows coming out, Monday through Sunday, and obviously best place to check us out is Facebook. Put on those automatic notifications every time we go live. Not only will you get all of the Philly Sports Alliance shows, but you'll also get all of the Painted Lines shows that are coming out and all of the wonderful videos that Dives puts together. And like you said, I said it earlier to Jonathan, check out the positional rankings. It just is for me, again, it's just such a nice jumping off point to kind of get you familiar with some of the players that are going to be in this draft. And then you kind of, if you're like me, then it kind of, you go down these, tunnels of diving into this player and that player, and it's great. So highly recommend. But yeah, check us out YouTube as well, and of course down here on Twitter for a decent follow. So that's it.
Yeah, if you love Philly sports content, check out Philly Sports Alliance. You'll thank me later. Speaking of later, my last position ranking is done. It is officially done, and that's interior offensive lineman. If you're watching us live, that'll be dropping in 20 minutes at 2:00.
Sweet.
So I am so glad to be done with this. The rest of this is going to be mostly stock up, stock down, type of stuff.
You're going to do a big board or no?
Yeah. So that's the one thing I have not done, and I probably, on all these videos, I'm probably over 100 players scouting reports, and I got to sit down, make a nice whiskey and Coke, and just figure that out.
Well, you need one of those magnetic whiteboards with the players' names. You can.
And I'll have my wife
I think I'm with this guy here. Do it.
So funny. You remember that's my favorite time of the year when it's draft season and people take random photos of another team's draft war room.
Right.
And you can see in the background their whiteboard or the magnets with the player rankings. Oh, I love that. All the drama of that.
Yeah. Whether or not it's done on purpose or smoke screens and whatnot. That's it's the best time of the year, honestly.
Yeah, so if you love the NFL draft, I've covered every single position, top 10s across the board, offense, defense. Go check that out. So Party on Broad will be back on Mondays, starting this Monday night. Be on the lookout for that, talking Sixers and Eagles. Again, follow my man Ryan over there at Philly Sports PSA. Check out Philly Sports Alliance. Check out Edge of Philly Sports. Check out the Painted Lines. Spread the love. Hit that like button if you want more draft content. Ryan, over under on mocks is probably going to be 12 and a half.
72. You meant us. I meant me personally. Yeah, by the new year, I'll probably have done 72. I mean, like I said, this is I'm definitely a geek when it comes to the draft. I love any content I can get my hands on. And the fact that we have the technology to run mock drafts on our phone in 5 minutes, it's just I got nothing to do. Let me do a quick mock.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love it, and I will be continuing to do this until April, right up until the draft, and then it's time to analyze the draft.
So we our first mock was no trades. Our second mock was trade back. Trying to think of an idea for our third mock. I'm thinking just chaos. What mock draft could we do to produce the most chaos among Eagles fans, the NFL draft? That'd be fun.
I like it. I love chaos.
All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching. For Ryan, for myself, stay awesome, everyone.